YouTube, 8-bit-tastic. It's the 8-bit wonder of the world. Fucking mega haul. So you're probably asking yourself, well, how did you get hold of it then, Toots? Showed a few of the lads, just took a very quick picture and just sort of, you know, because I was really excited about what I've managed to, you know, acquire. And, you know, how did you get, what happened, blah, blah. I said, look, I'll tell the story, because it is a little bit weird. Well, it's for me, so some people do this all the time. But for me, it was completely out of left field, completely out of the blue. Wasn't expecting it whatsoever. It was Thursday night, and I've got a message on Facebook. You know, them that are on Facebook will know, them that don't, it doesn't matter, because you don't know what I'm talking about. But basically, it's like an unsolicited PM for people you don't know. I looked at the name, I thought, don't recognise who that is. What was her name? Doesn't matter what her name was. Olivia, I think, something like that. And she just basically said, are you still interested in old computer and video game stuff? Question mark. I replied back, yeah, of course. Still trying to figure out who she is. I thought she might be a friend of a friend, you know, that kind of stuff. No, just a random. I think, looking back, because she's from the city, my home city, Coventry, and I think probably, got to be a few years back now, I did do the usual when Facebook was sort of kicking off, especially the groups, you know, the selling groups, buying side groups. I did put a post up there, yonks back, sort of saying, like, interested in any old gaming stuff. I haven't done anything with that for years now, so maybe that's come to the surface from somewhere, I don't know. I'm not complaining. I didn't really ask her actually where she found me from, so like I say, it doesn't matter. The fact is, she contacted me. You know, so I was kind of like, well, I don't really know where I know you from or whatever. So I was like, yeah, waiting for her to come back, and she sort of said, oh, what stuff are you interested in? And I said, anything, you know, collect all sorts, into all sorts. So she replied back saying, well, there's loads of it. And I said, well, to be honest, if it's easier, I'll take the lot. Makes it easier for yourselves, and puts a bit of money in your pocket. So she said, okay, I'll take some pictures and get back to you. So at this point, I had a Scooby-Doo, what any of it was. It could have been, you know, fucking Wii stuff for all I know, or PS2 stuff. So I'll try and put the pictures that she sent me. They're all phone pictures, so they're not great. So this is what I saw. Hopefully you'll see these now in some sort of like little slideshow. So yeah, as you can see, them's with a keen eye. There's one thing I've seen in there straight away, and I thought, that's worth money. I know that's worth money because I've sold the wife's granddad's one of those in the past. When he cleared out his loft, he was into his old computers stuff, Commodore stuff. So I knew straight away there's some money in that. I couldn't see, obviously I've seen a handful of games, as you can see in them pictures maybe. Don't know, they're not the greatest pictures that was taken. So I sort of said, yeah, I'm interested in a lot. What sort of price you're thinking of? And she said, you know, the fucking, the time-honoured deal breaker, make me an offer. Oh, so I looked at it and I thought, like, seriously, like, so I've replied back and said, okay, so look, my assumption is none of it's been tested. It's probably been in a loft, garage or shed, because I didn't know where it had been stored. So obviously that affects condition and stuff like that, because if you end up sort of saying like box games, you get them and they're all fucking mouldy, they're no good to anybody, are they? So I chucked out a reasonable price. She come back with half of it again, so I went back and counted, like, well, split the difference. She was firm on the price. It's a 3-digit number. There's no point me telling you what it is because it's irrelevant, but it wasn't peanuts. It's 3 digits, but it wasn't, you know, massively expensive either. And say, given the computer that I saw there, I thought, well, worst case, I'll get my money back, bulk of it back off of that, and the rest is, you know, I'll obviously chip away, and the rest is kind of gravy. So I agreed. Now at this point, this was on the Thursday night, and she gave me a address. I said, oh look, is there any chance that you could drop it off? I'll chuck in an extra £5 because the wife's out, you know, for the evening. She said, well, make it a tenner. and you know, and I'll drop it off at your house. So I was like, okay, cool. So unbeknownst to me, I thought it was going to be that night. She then come back and sort of said, look, it'll have to be tomorrow now, i.e. yesterday, Friday. I was like, fine, that suits me down to the ground. It got to, I think she sort of said between 5:30, 6 o'clock. I messaged her about 5, just sort of said, look, are you still okay for tonight? She said, yes, it won't be me that's dropping them off, it'll be somebody else. I was like, okay. And obviously, between the Thursday night and yesterday, I did mention to her wife, obviously, what was going on. I said, I don't think it's her stuff. Because I looked at her pictures and she's quite youngish, you know, youngish girl, maybe like early 20s, something like that. Pictures of her boyfriend and stuff. I thought, it can't be there. I said, it's got to be like the granddad's or something like that. But anyway, the lady that turned up, it transpired, was a mum and a husband. And like I say, you've seen some of the pictures, and I just sort of said to her, so where did it all come from? Was it out of a loft or garage or whatever? She said, no, it was mine. I think the mum passed away, so the grandmum of the daughter that contacted me had passed away. And the mother had sort of said a lot of it was hers. I think hers and her brother's, I think that's what she said. And it'd just been stored in the bedroom. So I say it's a dusty, it's a little bit grubby, but you can tell it's not been exposed too much to the elements. A little bit of it has, because that's just the nature of the beast. You know, these things are like fucking about 35, 40 years old. But generally, overall, it's all in pretty good nick. It's not mint or anything like that. So it turned out to be a really good haul. Unexpected. Completely unexpected. So I've not done any of them sort of contact me, you know, typical lizard fashion. I just not bothered anymore. Let them get on with it. And when you're not chasing it, it just seems to fall in your lap. So, well happy. Part of the message, and I think this is where they got confused, and I got a little bit too excited, and then when the stuff turned up I was less excited, and then I got really excited again, and I'll go through that anyway. But they sort of said, oh, it's about 80 Atari games. So I'm thinking, I could see obviously there was a 2600 there, and I thought, fucking great, you know, there might be some real beauties in there. I think it turns out they meant Commodore, not Atari. Easy mistake to make. But I tell you what, I'm glad it was the Commodore stuff, because I'll say some of it I've never even heard of. Never even heard of. So I say there'll be a bit of jump cutting, a bit of pausing, because there's boxes and tubs and stuff that I need to shift around. I won't spend too long on most of it, to be honest, because there's no point. You know, I'll just show you what it is, because I say in the pictures, and it's not until I started going through the boxes that I realised what was there. Yeah, and you know, I mean, I'm no expert. I know rough prices. I say, especially on the computer side of it. So I knew roughly in my head, add it all up totally, you know, even as spares and repairs, it's worth X amount. And that's how you have to do it. You know, I think a lot of people get dissuaded by some of the older computer stuff, especially if you're at the boot sales and stuff like that. But even as, you know, even as for spares and repairs, don't be put off. There's always money in it. So let's get on. Let's get on and let's see what we've got. So first up, it needs a scrub. A lot of it all needs a scrub. It's just dusty. This is what I saw in the picture, and it's a Commodore 128K. So these are quite fucking rare, even from a Commodore standard, you know, in terms of sales and stuff like that. I don't know numbers. I'm not into all the numbers. It looks, other than the top bit, it does look in really nice nick. So again, I'm being really vague here in terms of numbers and pricing. It's just really grubby. It just needs a clean. If this was working, probably, and I've got all the power, so all of these have got all the hookups as well. She said she tried one of them. I think she tried one of the 64s. I can't remember. She said she tried one. If the 128's working, it's probably 150 quid ish, maybe more, maybe less. Don't know. So that's a huge chunk of the money back right there, if not the majority of it. So that gives you a rough idea of what I paid. And I didn't need to leave my house either, which I think they preferred, because when I mentioned about delivering it, there was no woman in hiring. So, you know, some people don't like people going around the house. I get that 100%. So I'll just go through the systems. So we've got 6-switch Woody, which I think I've got one of these in a very battered up box. Manufactured in Hong Kong. Atari Wong, manufactured by Atari Wong. You can see that. It's in alright. I'd say a lot of it is just a bit grubby. There's no cracks, there's no smashes, and there's nothing else wrong with it, and obviously it's all wide up. So there'll be a lot of clunking and a lot of moving about and sort of pauses and jump cuts, so I do apologise. The effervescent specky grey 128K needs to be a bit temperamental. I think this was the one. This is the one before Amstrad. I think Amstrad took over and it went black. I think, unless it's the other way around, I always forget. The black or the grey, I can't remember which came first. Chicken or the egg. But yeah, that's got the power pack and stuff. There's not much specky games actually. I'm guessing whoever had this, be it her and a brother or a granddad, they were big Commodore, massive Commodore geeks. We've got two very yellow bread bins. So I'm not going to go into too much. You've all seen Commodore. Yeah. Need a bit of retro brighting. You know, there's no broken keys or anything like that, so smell a bit like they've been fagged on a little bit. Smoker, but they'll clean up. They'll clean up. So they've got all the hookups, all the power packs. I'm not going to show you all that shit. There's a load of joysticks. There's a load of quick shot joysticks. There's this old fucking dot matrix printer. It's been a while since I've seen a dot matrix printer. Fucking hell, weighs a ton. OG. It's an OG Commodore one. MPS 801, and all this has got the manuals for it as well. It's all got the manuals. Stick that down there. Pause it. Right, I'll quickly go through the Atari stuff because there's less of that. So this is what she said there were 80 of. I thought, well, even at £1 each, the game, it's 80 quid. But there's not. There's 25. I know a little bit about Atari, not a massive amount. I don't think any of these are super rare. I could be wrong. But they are in super condition, and most have got the manuals. There's no boxes. They're hard to lose carts. You spend too long on these either. Combat, Space Invaders. So all the end labels are nice. So that's how I know they've been stored inside. Hunt and Score, I've not got that one. So some of these I've got, some of these I haven't. Pele Soccer, I think I've got a bad one of that. Freeway, I don't think I've got a Freeway. Adventure. Video Pinball. Circus Atari, I think I've got that. Missile, I've definitely got Missile Command, classic. Video Olympics, don't think I've got that one. Bowling. So if anybody knows any of these are like, well, I don't think they are. Brain Games, not got that one. So some I've heard of, some I haven't. Video Chess, I haven't got that one. Night Driver, not sure on that one. Hemorrhoids, Asteroids. Obligatory Pac-Man. Stampede, sure I've got Stampede. The Human Cannonball, I think I've got that. Space War, don't think I've got that one. Dodgem, I don't think I've got that one. Casino, I haven't got that. Superman. Outlaw. So some of these I may have it with picture labels. Air Sea Battle, I remember playing that as a kid. Super Breakout, I definitely got that. And Slot Racers, I definitely got that. And I say there's a massive bundle of manuals for most of them. Brain Games manual, Circus Atari, Superman's got its manual. I'm not going to go through them all, but there is, I think most of them are match up. There's Dig Dug, there's no Dig Dug. There's Maze Craze, there's no Mate. So there's just some ones in here that I haven't got, or that not in the box, which does make me wonder if there's more stuff. I did sort of say to the lady, top tip, top tip, if anything like this does happen to you, always ask if there's any more, or if you know of anybody else, etc, etc. Just see if there's any that are in here that I haven't mentioned now. So yeah, most of them have got the manuals. So I say there's a few in there that I haven't got. The most of them, I don't think there's anything super, you know, mega rare. I don't know, but there's some that I haven't got, which is always a bonus, you know. If I can flip this, flip that, and end up getting the rest of it for free, then that's how you do it, don't you? You look after your mates and you spread it, because all, for it could have all gone to the tip. Okay, so some of the controllers, I'm having to do a lot of jump cuts here. Do apologise, guys, it's just the stuff everywhere. A nice set of paddles. I did have a set of paddles. I think I gifted them away one time, which is a bad mistake. Now it's time to erase that mistake.
I had to kill Bob Morton because he made a mistake. Now it's time to erase that mistake. I had to kill Bob Morton because he made a mistake. Now it's time to erase that mistake.
So a nice condition set of paddles. Your obligatory joystick, which rattled, so it's broke. They're always broke. And some of these, and I can't remember these, I think these are for Space War. I think they are anyway. Someone will be able to let me know. A set of keyboard controllers. I'm sure they're for Space War, and I think you need them for Space. And I think there's another game as well you need them for, and I can't think what it is. It's not Space War, something else to do with space. It counts as specky stuff. Not a great deal of specky stuff. Bit of a shame, but this is, you know, I think they bought this out of curiosity, just going by some of the stuff and the mass of Commodore stuff. They couldn't have been real specky fans. So you've seen the 128K plus 2, a very nice official Sinclair joystick, box complete, but it is really nice condition. It's all there. We have, I'll tell you what, the massive geeks these people were. I don't think there's anything in these. And Harper, I think, he's the only real specky geek I know. Full screen, I don't know, I'm not going to read it all out, for fuck's sake, just read it. Machine test, oh fucking hell. Fourth. The language fourth. I mean, they're all just, I'll give you a brief show. They're all near enough, every single game. All the stuff, all the shiz is in there. I'll show you these like this, because there's no point going for each one. So there's only a handful of, obviously, like this go down. So I think these are just like this, the Dixon's bundle, weren't it? I think they come with, and that's the top ones is obviously just a blank disc, blank tape. That's it. That's all the specky software. It's not great, nothing massive to write home about. I'll show you. There's a lot of literature as well. So massive geeks. Fucking frighteningly weird, but interesting. I was loving it last night. The wife fucking come in, she said, "You're in your element, aren't you?" I thought, this is great. I mean, fuck me. I don't know. Oh, actually, there's another one. There's a bit soft. I thought it was a book. Jesus Christ. So another software spec text. Get your money's worth out of that bad boy. The Spectrum word processor. There you go. And they must have had a printer, because they've printed shit tons of stuff off, look. Unless that's the instructions. Fuck. No, they've just printed off instructions. Crazy times back then. I love it all. So yeah, Spectrum, and I'll just show you some of this is, like I say, some people find it interesting, some people won't even bother. Look at this one, look. PW Computing Special. Sinclair ZX Computing for the Radio Amateur. Fucking hell. Ant Harper is going to have he's going to blow his load over that. 1982. Look at that. Supplement to Practical Wireless, December 1982. Fuck. It just amazes me how this stuff survived. I think there must be more stuff, you know, because this is ZX81. So why would you have, if you only bought the Plus 2, there's got to be more stuff. I fucking hope there is. Like I said, I'm not going to go through these, but they don't mean very little to me. Machine code routines. I mean, fuck me. Advanced graphics workbook. They're proper geeks. This is even... Look, computers and computer science is a bit geeky. But when you combine it with astronomy, fucking hell. But they even printed some stuff off of this, look. There must be some fucking scientists or something, I tell you. That is amazing. I mean, I just find it amazing. I know some people probably think I'm... Well, like the wife thinks I'm fucking crazy anyway. But I find it fascinating. I really do. Really do. Right, moving on. Okay, the rest is all Commodore now. All Commodore 64. And there's a lot to get through. Hell of a lot to get through. I'm not sure where this one falls in. I'm not sure what it was used for. Whether it was the Atari, the Spectrum, or the Commodore, I don't know. But I think you can see this in the picture. Look at the back. It looks like it's a Sega one, so I'm guessing it's the Atari, isn't it? And it's like a weird NES Advantage hack-'em rip-off, basically. Technique. If you look at the back, it says Sega. Sega Power. The quirk. Thought it was quite interesting, nonetheless. Right. So the rest is Commodore now. I think the best way to do this is just probably show you the tapes and then the disc stuff. So there are 2 disc drives. I'm going to get to the disc stuff. I'll show you the drives and then show you the disc games. Okay, so the way I'm going to do this then with the tape, rather than just show individual tapes, which would take forever, I've took some pictures. I'll try and insert them here just so you can sort of see what the games are. I mean, the tape stuff's quite interesting. There's some in there that I've never heard of. I may pick out a couple of notable mentions in terms of that, but for me, what I really got excited about was the disc-based stuff. Two of the quite weird peripherals. Again, you may have not seen them in the picture. There's a stack light pen, which literally is a light pen for the Commodore. Amazing. And the Commodore Music Maker, which I don't think's ever been used, judging by that. I could be wrong. We could have took it out, but it's got everything in there and it's all in the baggie, so I'm not going to piss about with that too much, to be honest. I'm running out of space. Got a bit all over the shop in this video, but it's the only way I can do it. I don't. Is there a better way of showing you some of the stuff? You've seen some of the pictures of the games. Now, there's a few sort of non-gaming stuff like software. Big Mahoosive, Spirit of the Stones. What size is that fucking thing? Based on something in the Isle of Wight. Just want to look of it. Real diamond talisman to be claimed. It's like a massive. Fascinating to look at, really is. You said big boxes are dead. Another weird big box, I said, they're complete geeks. Commodore 64 graphics pack. Fucking like massive books and then the tape. Book 3 and book 4. There we go, yeah, plus screenshots, book 3 and book 4. So there's that. Tons of stuff. And some more sort of software. Someone might find it interesting, I don't know. Computer Kensington. No, computer, is it Kensington? Is that the game? I don't know. Music system. so that's probably to do with the keyboard, although it's by Rainbird, so it probably uses that. Some weird ass software now. Business Calc. Know Your Own IQ. I know that, it's fucking -2. This is great. Tony Hart's Art Master. Who remembers Tony Hart? Look it. Hey, 2T, age 3.5. HMV, £9.90. Wow. I don't know if it's missing a disc or not, I don't know. Ooh, I hope not. Quizmaster. Write and run your own quiz. Don't you know, we're absolute weirdos. Well, that's only got 2 in it as well. I don't know. It's just, I find it all really, really fascinating. Right, moving on. Right, before I get on to what I think is the real exciting part of this, especially the Commodore stuff, I'm just going to show you some of the books. Not for everybody. I don't think this video is going to be for everybody. But those, out of breath looking all that stuff around. Those that are into the Commodore, into the 8-bit stuff, I think it's amazing. Commodore 64 Programmer's Reference Guide. Ow. So there's a system guide for the 128. It's all got instructions. Winning games on the Commodore 64. Oh, there's the cricket instructions for the Spectrum. There you go. Panorama. The Panorama graphics system. Fucking hell. So there's what the instructions for one of the disk drives. Commodore 64 Games Book 2. Malborn House. Commodore 64 Adventures. Great these books are. Ah, I've got the thing to that. Need to put that there. The manual for the printer. The Times Book of Computer Puzzles and Games for the Commodore 64. Someone's got to find these interesting. Commodore 64 Games Book. 21 Sensational Games for the Commodore 64. The ZX, the Plus 2 manual. Zoom Super Soft. Super Machine Language Monitor for the Commodore 64. We use the manual. That's another one. It's these basic lighting things. I'm sure there's things like that. Secrets of the Commodore 64. What else have we got? Personal Computer 60 programs for the Commodore 64. Those are absolute geeks. Machine Code Master for the Commodore 64. The C64 Exposed. The Complete Fourth. So they're then obviously into the 4th programming language for sure. For shower! Sound and graphics on the Commodore 64. Oh, okay. What was that on then? That's one of the cassette games, isn't it? Adventure International Software Hint Book. The official hint book, user guides. Because there's a lot of these on C64. We have the 128 instructory guide. The other 128 guide for the other 64, sorry, for the other 64. The Working Commodore 64, a library of practical subroutines and programs. Can it play games? Software 64. Practical programs for the Commodore 64. Fuck, it goes on. Wow, what's this? Phoenix Computer Crib Card. Everything at your fingertips. Look. Little crib sheets, look. Cheap. Amazing. It's amazing. I love stuff like this. Yeah, look. Like a plastic sheath. Big Mahoossive, the complete Commodore 64. Hardback. We have the only magazine, Commodore Disc User, from January, February 1998. Bit of a kink in it. I'm trying to flatten that down with these Mahoossive books. Okay, so like I say, the bit that I got really excited about was the disc-based stuff. As I mentioned before, the wife's granddad when he was clearing out his loft, he had one Commodore 128K. He had a disc drive. He had some disc games, not many. A lot of them were copies. But obviously, when he wanted me to sell that for him, which I did. Obviously, on sort of researching and stuff, you think, fucking hell, Jesus Christ, some of these stuff goes for money. So when I seen this lot, and I sort of seen the couple of disc games on there, I was like, fucking hell. I didn't realise there was two lots of disc drives. So they're both 1541 models. This is, I think, what you'd probably recognise more than the other one. So they're a little bit dirty. I don't know if they were. I haven't tested nothing. I have tested nothing. I've only had it since last night. And the probably more aesthetically pleasing one is the sort of grey one. I think it's a newer model with the handle on the door. But again, they're both the same models. They're both 1541s. Probably just different revisions, like a version 1 and a version 2. And they both got all the hookup. They both got there's both sets of leads as well. So the games. I'm going to show you this game first, which isn't a disc game. But when I was, especially to some of these games I've never heard of. Someone new, I thought, yeah, I've had that before, I've seen that before, yada yada yada, usual. Like you've seen some of them on there. They're not, they're not rare or anything. But obviously, because I think the people that had all this stuff were sort of really real geeky, as you could probably see from some of the games and some of the software. They're heavily into their adventures and RPGs and that kind of Wizards and Knights and that kind of thing, rather than the arcade side of stuff. There is some arcade games, but they're definitely more focused that way. So some of the games I've never even heard of. Some I had, obviously. Now, in terms of the disc-based stuff, there's some absolute crackers. But before we get to that, there was this game here, which is a cassette game. Now, I'm not saying this is what it sounds for or anything like that, but it's the only one that's been on there. I looked at sold listings, and it's still the only one that's not sold. Not surprising for this price, what the guy's asking. I don't know if it's worth this much. It's worth whatever someone's willing to pay, and clearly they're not willing to pay that much he's asking. But even if it's half that, it's still a fucking steal. And it's Valkyrie 17. So I just thought it was a normal game, it is what it is. So I'm going to spend a little bit more time just looking at these ones, because I think they're more interesting. And it looks like it's a World War II game, I'm guessing. So there's this little pin badge here, look, which you can all check this on eBay, the eBay listing, and there's all these sort of briefing notes and maps and programs. The guy's got listed, and I think it all matches up. I've got all of it. As I say, the people that had this were pretty shit hot on what they're keeping stuff together generally. Got curl in there, but yeah, I say check on there, and I think it's something daft, like either 350 or 250. I can't remember now. It's a mad amount that the guy's asking for. But I've got games in this lot that that have never appeared on eBay. So they could be worth equally as much. I don't know. That's the thing with the old 8-bit stuff. It's worth what someone's willing to pay. Until someone puts one up for an auction and lets it run, that's when you can really gauge the value of something, I think. I think there's only one or two. There may be more, I can't remember. But one standout one was Castle Dracula. There's nothing. All you've got is a few ROM sites like Lemon 64 and stuff that reference that. There's none that are sold. So for all I know, it could be worth 400 quid. I don't know. It's just one of them, because some of this stuff is just so obscure. It's so off left field. God knows. A few random. So when I was going through them, because there's so many books and stuff, and there's just boxes and tubs or whatever. So I was trying to sort it in some sort of semblance of order, like cassette stuff and disc stuff and whatnot. This one I thought was a book. It turns out it's not. It's an actual game, and it's again, these are all disc-based games now. Amazon by Michael Crichton. Guide to Jurassic Park. I mean, some of these, you know, 10 quid. It's 10 quid, 10 quid, 20 quid, 30 quid, blah, 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 and some of them were worth stupid amounts. They're absolutely amazing. This one I don't think's, I've not seen it, that wasn't on eBay. I'm pretty sure it wasn't actually, not the disc version, and it's Marble Madness. Great game, Marble Madness is. No instructions though. No. So I've not really even gone through many of these at all. Marble Madness. We have The Pawn. Not The Pawn Star, just The Pawn. By Rainbird. So a lot of the stuff they've got is all adventure. The oldie nights, point and clicky. I'm not going to absolutely. Excuse, that's a box, honestly. A great one here. Aliens. A little bit of dog earing down the thing, but Aliens. The disc version. Electric Dreams. And so you've got the map, poster map. Look at this. Who's playing through this? Zypho. He won't watch this. Zypho won't watch this. But Zypho did a fucking playthrough. I watched him play through this as well. It took him ages to do this. He had to keep going back. I remember going backwards and forwards. But yeah. This is on the Amstrad. Not on the mighty C64 disc version. This one I've got as a cassette as well. This is the disc version of it. It's Eureka. So Ian Livingston, who does the fantasy book games. Apparently you could win something back in the day. Right, we'll go through these. So some of these I'd say I know of, some just don't appear on eBay at all. And they could be worth an absolute fucking fortune for all I know. Time Tunnel. They all seem to be stem around adventure. These are my kind of people. One of the arcade games, Kung Fu Master. So a lot of them are all complete, even with the little manuals and stuff. The Hobbit. Hobbits. And this one's got everything in it. This one doesn't. There's a tape version of this, but not a disc. The disc version. I say it might not be worth much of anything. It's only worth what someone's willing to pay. It's Mission Elevator. I do like these. Look beautiful. Could fit thousands of them on the shelf, couldn't you, have collected these? Look at this. The Dallas Quest. Look at that. Oh man, it's awesome. Just love seeing all this old stuff, really do. It's got a date on it. J.R. Ewing. No, it doesn't say. US Gold though, look, US Gold. This one's on there, very popular game. What does he say? Old school writer face. Worth a bit of bunts. It's Gauntlet. So what's that, 25, 30 quid there? And clearly at the minute untested, but so these haven't been stored. These have been stored inside. They've not been in the garage or anything, so fingers crossed and all that. This one doesn't appear. I've not seen this on eBay. Again, I looked at sold, completed listings, couldn't find it. And it is The Edge, not to be confused with The Wrestler. Over 1,700 screens of African wilderness. Fuck knows. But only one Almaz. I ain't got. There's no screenshots for it. I ain't got a clue. World Games by Epics. So Epics and US Gold were synonymous really with a lot of these multi-format sporting events. This is missing a sleeve actually. They might have a spare sleeve. There's a little disc wallet I'll show you in a minute. Yeah, again, this one doesn't exist. Muggsy's Revenge, it does on disc, on cassette, but not on disc. Voted Strategy Game of the Year, Muggsy's, now back with, I don't know, Malborn House. Muggsy's Revenge. Tarzan does exist, I've seen Tarzan for sale or sold. Arcade Combat Adventure. Fantastic. I just love looking at them, to be honest. I mean, last night I was like a kid in a sweet shop. It really was. Tasty one here now. Ghosts and Goblins. Disc version. On the Mighty. C64 by Elite. Look at that. Complete. That instruction does not want to stay in there. Couple of obscure ones here now. This one, apparently, he must be some sort of like Dizzy type character, or predates Dizzy, because these games ain't cheap. This guy's in it. It's Wally Goes to Rhineland. Again, I thought it was a nothingness game, but apparently there's a bit of money in it. There's a bit of money in a lot of this stuff. And one for Alex, my mate Alex. Arcade. She was fit. Probably still is a bit fit actually. Sam Fox, strip poker. Said to the wife, "I'll see you later. Drawing the curtains. I'm going to fire up the old C64." Are you able to tell if Sam's bluffing? What does he say? Ding dong. Is that what you say, Alex? Ding dong. Cream cake. A bit of Sam Fox strip poker. Have it. Oi oi Savaloy. So there's a little wallet with some discs in it. A lot of it is software. There's a couple of games. So we've got Alice in Videoland. There's no just loose discs. Mine Shadow by Activision. I don't know if you see that. So what I'll probably do is any ones that are missing sleeves I'll take out of this. The rest of them are just sort of blanks. Yeah, I think there's an exception really in there, sort of software. And then the last three, I think we're done then. So you could see these in the picture. You know, even I can fucking use eBay and do a quick Google in terms of what's worth what. But we do have the whole trilogy of the Zork. That's a Zork 1. So these are, you know, renowned. Even I knew what these games were. Adventure-based games. They've all got the instructions and stuff. Weird design though with the cardboard, because I think it's meant to have a spine, but because there's actually nothing there to support that end, they all just get flattened. It's a bit of a shame. Zork 2. So other than the spines being squished, in really good condition. And Zork 3, which does have its instructions as well. So again, I'm not saying they're worth hundreds of pounds. People are asking, I think, a couple of hundred for 2 and 3, I think, or 1 and 2. I can't remember. I've not seen anyone with a trilogy for sale. I've not seen a trilogy sold. It is what it is. I say it's a buyer's market. They're worth what anyone's willing to pay at the end of the day. But yeah, really happy. I mean, it's just, you know, for me, I just love going through it all. A lot of it won't be kept because it's not really my thing. I've got no space. I've got no space to set up a Commodore other than hook up onto the LCD just to test it, which is a real shame. But it was an opportunity. I said it wasn't, you know, I didn't go out my way. It came to me. And when stuff like that drops on your lap, you just don't say no. And I would advise any of you guys out there, guys and girls out there, don't say no. If it's dirty and dusty, dust and dirt you can deal with, you can clean it. But there's money in this old shit. There really is money in it. So, case in point, And I tell you, it's just fascinating to go and look through it. If I could put these into some collector's hands, put them into, you know, someone who's really going to appreciate them, then more the better. You know, that's how I look at it anyway. Right, I'm going to sod off. Hopefully the video's not been too choppy about. I didn't want to sit there and show you all the cassette games because there's pictures of them. And to be honest, it'd get really tedious really quickly. You know, for me, I think the most interesting stuff was probably the disc-based stuff. Really, there are a few notable or weird sort of tape games in there, but majority are pretty standard fare. Yeah, like maybe top end 10 quid a tape, 15 quid, 20 quid. I think there's one or two 20 quid ones. I think there's a part 1 and part 2 game. I can't remember what it's called now. And they've sold for that. You know, they have sold for that. So, but it's just interesting. It's just great. I love it when stuff like this happens. It doesn't happen very often. I said, I don't go out my way. I don't go chasing this stuff. It was just an opportunity that arose, and I wasn't not going to say no. And I'm sure you guys out there that maybe appreciate some of the 8-bit stuff, and especially the Commodore stuff, you know, you probably have a better idea of value than I would do. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Enough ranting. Take it easy, YouTube, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.